Anthony, great to see you again. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's always great to be with you, Jared.
Well, I'm ecstatic to have you on because you had a big announcement that recently came out on a partnership with Plaid. So, would first love to read the releases around it. Would love to hear kind of maybe some of the highlights from you and the excitement. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. As you know, at MoneyGram, we're going through a huge refounding of the organization, and I think this Plaid partnership we just announced is just what we call another brick that we're laying down. We're taking this transformation and this refounding as a step-by-step process. And what it is in particular about this Plaid partnership is that they are our new pay-by-bank partner in the U.S. And the reason we're so excited about it is because we believe it enhances experience for our millions of customers that we serve nationwide here. What that is that through this partnership, we're allowing our customers to fund their domestic account and do cross-border transfers directly from their bank account with a few simple clicks. We service over 50 million people across over 200 countries at MoneyGram, and this is just another step forward for us. We believe in our process of modernizing the global payments experience for everyone.
You mentioned something at the beginning of that, Anthony, refounding. Would love for you to go into more detail on that because that is a pretty cool term to hear. Would love to hear your additional thoughts.
Yeah, sure. I think the term obviously is inspired by the concept of founding, and to set it as context, entrepreneurs or people that start companies are typically called founders, and the reason they're founding something is that they're starting a company from an idea that most people, I think, typically think are not possible, and so you really need the mentality of a founder to plow through an organization. As companies get more successful and they grow and they become larger, what we find is that at some points in time, there is this inflection point and moments where the company needs to be refounded. And in those moments, what is required for the company is really to take a look at what are the best parts and assets that will continue getting us forward, but what are things that we potentially need to do to change in terms of how we conduct business, the products we build, or new segments that we need to enter that are a little different than, say, what has gotten us here. And examples I would use would be, at Microsoft, it's probably the best example when Satya Nadella took over. Microsoft's mission was a computer on every desk. And when you think about it, the world had changed at that moment when he came in. There was a beginning of movement to the cloud. Mobile phones became ubiquitous. And at that moment, I think, Satya had to think about what Microsoft needed to be at their next phase. So while he was not Bill Gates or Paul Allen, he refounded Microsoft. And I think that refounding moment where they made investments in cloud and AI and thought about how they can make human beings and the people that use their software, no matter where they were and across any device, more productive, was a huge inflection point. And you can look at it in terms of their stock price change when they refounded the company. Just other examples include what Andy Jassy is doing right now at Amazon in terms of refounding that company, and what Tim Cook had to do. He was never going to, when he became the CEO, he was never going to be Steve Jobs, so he had to figure out how the company needed to be refounded. And their big thing was pushing really into much more services revenue and really thinking about the company from an ecosystem perspective. So bringing it back to MoneyGram, I would say that we're refounding the company because we believe that we have this amazing global payments network where we reach over 200 countries across 20,000 corridors, and we have over 450,000 retail locations. But there are things that we have to rethink in terms of all the things that we can do on that network. And one of the things we realize is that what we want to do is, while we will never want to abandon, in fact, we want to grow our physical agent network, we also want to improve the digital experience for all our customers, which means that we want a seamless way for people to be able to send, receive money, as well as their other financial needs through our rails and our network. And we need to do it in a digital way. And so the step in this partnership with Plaid allows us to do this. And this is just a step again forward from where we are. And it's one step in our multi-step and a lot of roads ahead to refound MoneyGram.
Well, I really look forward to continuing to follow along the journey. And again, I love that term, refounding. And I think everyone, if they think back to the most successful companies in history, there's been probably one or two or several refounding moments, right? So I'm glad you brought that up. And as always, wishing you and the team all the best of luck. And thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you. And, one thing I will maybe put one plug in, if you wouldn't mind, is that I actually wrote about refounding on my blog. It's Anthony Soohoo, SSOOHOO.com. And also I posted an article about it, or a blog post on the MoneyGram blog. So, we'll send it to you separately, and maybe we can just include it in the show notes for your audience.
Absolutely. We will 100% do that.
Okay, great. Well,
Thanks so much, Anthony.